we're talking about the deliberate, systematic attempt to shape perceptions, manipulate cognitions, and direct behavior to achieve a response that furthers the desired intent of the propagandist. Formation in regards to the establishment of this new nation.
Once again, good question. The reality is that we in America are dominated by a few companies that control the, quote, mainstream media. We as the IAAC, with regards to the formation of this independent African-American nation, believe in our transparency to get the message out not only to the African-American people but to the world, and to establish into the international consciousness of our fundamental claim to sovereignty. So as we move forward, the mainstream media, we will make those attempts to capture the minds of the mainstream media. And one of the things that we have been saying with regards to our objective and mission is we're trying to inject the political aspect of it so that we can influence the American media by letting every congressman and senator, including the president, know right this second the creation of an independent African-American nation by competent individuals, competent professional African-Americans, to return back to the homeland of their ancestors is a noble cause. The African-American people have fought and died in many wars in the cause of freedom. We still die to this day. We as the African-American people have spilled our blood to save other people for their right to sovereignty. So there's no other group of people on the planet today that have the right to return back to Africa and create this new democratic nation, a nation in which we then can control our media. So in the step right now, for every congressman and senator and president to be known, if you are against the supporting of the creation of an independent African-American nation by those who wish to go, we will marshal whatever resources we have to vote you out of office. Full stop. Do not get in our way, because we are talking about doing something that is noble, not only for ourselves, but to set a good example on the continent of Africa and to be able to help that unification process that has been elaborated earlier. So once we have got to attack the political structure in America, let them know, once again, don't get in our way. We have to be just like the Israelis in that sense. New York Times, Newsday, Fox News, CNN, etc. Do not get in our way for this noble purpose. Once we then create this new nation and we have our own government, the government of the African American people then controls the frequencies of that particular nation. We are the ones that will award the business licenses throughout our nation. And the question then would become, what kind of policies will we create in awarding licenses for print, for radio, for television, for the movie industry, in our new nation? What kind of messages do we want to put out there? I definitely would never support a bill that would allow Rupert Murdoch or anyone else to come into our country and to have a participation in our media. I believe that should be for the African American people who have the skills and expertise in those particular areas. So once we can get our nation and have our government established, then we are into the process of awarding those business licenses for our media. And then the question becomes now, what do we want to promote from our culture, from our nation? I've said before, I would love to see billboards in which show African Americans and Africans working in harmony. I would like to see those kind of messages. I would like to see a commercial in which you ask the black child who sits in front of a white doll and a black doll, which doll is the good doll and which doll is the black doll, the bad doll, and the child pushes both of those dolls up and says, neither one of them are bad, they're both good. That is the kind of power that we can have to influence this world once we build that nation. And for us to be able to teach our children how to celebrate all of humanity itself, how noble of a cause that is, no one on this planet needs to get in our way, including Africans and Europeans. No one. And so that is where I believe that once we are firm in establishing our right to create the nation, once we get our nation, then it's all on us on what kind of culture we are going to develop and promote in the world. I fully support the culture of Pan-Africanism. I do believe in working with other nations to help their social, economic, and political development in whatever way we can participate. But make no mistake, I'm focusing us on the African-American people first, who really, truly need to heal. We are the people that have been brainwashed by a system, and the remnants of slavery still exist within this culture itself. I mean, racism, of course, is rampant in America. You can sense it everywhere. Even though we have got the right to vote, racism is still is embedded in the social soil of America. So that is essentially my answer with regards to that. To rule ourselves independently without interference, that is, to me, is the most important objective. Thank you.